Good afternoon, everyone. I am Janalia Eslava, your presenter for today. So, before we start our topic, I just wanted to share some short poem that I wrote titled I Exist. I exist. Eyes is for us to see. Ears is for us to hear. Mouth is for us to speak. And brain is for us to think. To see that life is beautiful. To hear the sound of every heartbeat. To tell the people around us that they deserve to be loved. And to think that life isn't always easy, but still, here we are, laughing and wishing our problems will get away. Again, good afternoon, BE Ed 3B. Our topic is all about outcomes-based education, response to quality learning. So what is OBE? Outcome-based education actually became the fundamental philosophy of human higher education in the Philippines lately. All curricula, including that of teacher education, will be anchored in the concept of outcome-based education in terms of course designing, instructional planning, and teaching and assessing students' learning. Since I will discuss the outcomes-based education for teacher preparation curriculum, allow me to present to you our desired learning outcomes for today. First, we have define. What is outcome-based education as this apply to teacher education? Next, we have analyze the principles in outcome-based education. And we have the describe, how teaching and learning relate to OBE. Fourth, we have the explain, how the achieved learning outcomes will be assessed. And lastly, the summarize, the prospective teacher's roles and responsibilities in the implementation of the outcome-based education. Now, there is an advocate that really focused or imposed outcome-based education, and he is Dr. William Spady. Dr. William Spady is a leading definer, advocate, teacher, and implementer of the success for all learners paradigm. Let's just define the outcome-based education according to Spady in 1994. Defined as clearly focusing and organizing everything in the educational system around the essential for all the students to do successfully at the end of their learning experiences. Start with a clear picture of what is important and essential to each student to be able to do. Then organized in the curriculum, instruction, and assessment to make sure that learning happens. Outcome-based education is about preparing students for life, not simply getting them ready for college or employment. Outcome is culminating demonstration of learning wherein the outcomes occur at the end. This definition clearly points that the desired results of education are the learning outcomes that are made up of knowledge, understanding, skills, and attitudes that students should acquire to make them reach their full potential and lead fulfilling lives as individuals in the community and at work. As you can notice on our desired learning objectives, when we are making detailed lesson plan, we have cognitive, psychomotor, and affective traits that could measure students' achievement, and they can actually demonstrate what they can do in a particular lesson. To define and clarify further, answers to the following questions should be addressed by the teachers. What do we want these students to learn? Why do we want students to learn these things? How can we best help students to learn these things? How will you know when the students have learned? Gising pa ba kayo? Galaw-galaw ng konti sa mga upuan, baka ma-stroke. Okay, let's continue. In order to comply with the 3 premises of William Spady, 4 essential principles should be followed in either planning, instruction, teaching, and assessing learning. So, for our principle number 1, the clarity of focus. A clear focus and what teachers want for the students to learn is the primary principles in outcome-based education. Spady premised that in outcome-based education, all students can learn and succeed, but not at the same time or in the same way. Successful learning promotes even more successful learning, and the schools and teachers control the conditions that will determine if the students are successful in school learning. This is like looking straight ahead so that the target will be reached. Dapat, alam mo na ang goal mo, hindi lang nangangapa. We should know or be aware of what knowledge, skills, and values should be achieved before we take the lesson. Where will we find that learning objectives that already have in our lesson? So, that is all my report, and the rest of the outcome-based education for principles will be discussed by Ms. De Los Reyes Alaisa. Thank you.